Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe, with my ongoing A Closer Look into the X-Files, Season 3, up to Episode 6 already. Too Shy, an interesting title. You get why though once you get into the episode. A little bit of an online chat room. The name of our main antagonist, Virgil, Incanto, if that's what it is there, Virgil, I think it's Virgil, yeah, Incanto. This is your another Monster of the Week episode. Nice, considering we're still sort of hanging out in the shadow of that incredible 3-arc trilogy that ended Season 2 and began Season 3. And so now here we got a series of Monster of the Week episodes, which are great. This one, notwithstanding, man, Too Shy. David Nutter directing, returning again. First time Jeff Vlaming on writing episode. This drops November 3rd, 95. And I think I said something in the last episode, maybe something about there seemed to be a big jump in time in between one episode and that. I wasn't even thinking when I was looking at the dates and stuff, and that's, sometimes your brain just does screw things. But this is not long after the last one was October. I can't remember, October 20th. Yeah, the list, October 20th. This one's November 3rd. So I don't know what I was thinking then. But Too Shy, interesting story. Virgil is an online chat room predator, stalker of overweight women, plays on their lack of confidence or self-esteem in themselves. That is how he gets in. That's how he sets up meetings. And Virgil needs fatty acids. There's something wrong with him. I don't know if it ever was laid out that he was a monster per se, or this was a really severe medical condition, but then he does exhibit some weird, almost insect-like characteristics. Almost kind of reminds you of that movie Bite. And there's a good double feature. If you've never seen Bite, check out Bite, man. And so, he exhibits some insect-like characteristics, but he's never played out by the end when he is taken into custody. He's not, it's not laid out there as though he is a monster per se, although with some of the things he does, one way or another, he's a monster, right? There's one girl two girls end up being his downfall in that. So he's a predator in chat rooms. He needs to get set up dates. The point there, he thinks it's sort of a two-way thing. He's giving them everything they want as far as an opportunity to feel attracted to someone else, loved, that kind of thing. And they give him what he needs, and that is the ability to stay alive and move forward with a good dose of fatty acids. And it's funny because the girls in this episode, although they're caricatured as overweight, they're not really over. I mean, when you say overweight, it's not what you see in the episode. It's not kind of what you envision. Heavier than what society deems norm, maybe, I don't know. But it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. But he needs the fatty acids, right? And but two women. And let me just say, Timothy Carhart, who plays Virgil, I'll tell you. Here's some little trivia. He is the violinist that was dating Weaver's character in Ghostbusters. You remember when Bill Murray does his little dance in the fountain courtyard area. He is that quirky-looking violinist. That's our guy right there. He was also in The Hunt for Red October. He was in Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh, in Air Force One, too. Some probably small roles, but in them nonetheless. And so in here, Virgil, the online chat room predator monster, his downfall will be two women. The one that is maybe the most insecure of the bunch that we meet, Ellen Kaminsky. There's a failed attempt to connect with her. She ends up standing him up, but eventually he'll connect with her. In the end, that will ultimately be his downfall. The other one that leads to that is Monica, who lives in his building. I think she may be the owner of the building, because there is a scene where she utilizes her key set to actually gain entrance into his apartment. She is a writer. She is led on to believe that Virgil is a writer himself, editor, writer, something to that effect. So she wants someone to, more or less, and it does seem she's attracted to him. Like, she wants to get to know him. Like, maybe she's kind of lonely. By the way, he is, as a killer, he's known as the Lonely Hearts Killer. And these are a set of murders that have been starting to take place, which, because of the nature of their bodies and how they're left, of course, Mulder and Scully get called in to this. And this is another episode where Scully, her own vulnerability comes out. Although there is a neat scene where her and the police, the sheriff, whatever his title exactly was, that's overseeing the investigation, he doesn't want Scully dealing with the autopsies. He doesn't really want her then involved, because the nature of this killer is attacking women. And it's not that, apparently, it's not that he has anything against women, but he's overprotective in an old-fashioned way. And he wants to protect Scully in the end. And Scully sort of takes that as a front initially, but by the end of the show, I don't know. There's a great moment in there where he does tell her, he seems to be warming up to her, and so he wants her to take a lead on interviewing certain list of suspects. And so there's a neat little moment there where she sort of takes that as she's earning her way as though she needed to, but he doesn't know her and she doesn't know him. So, but in the end, the position that she ultimately is put into, if it's not for the heroics of Ellen, then Scully probably becomes a victim. And so it's kind of a mixed thing, but it works out really well. And we do see at times Scully's vulnerability, and the way I've said this in the past, the way she expresses that on her face is it's really it's really good. It's really, 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 really good. So Monica, the one who perhaps owns the apartment building, her daughter Jessie is blind. And because she's blind, she can pick up, obviously, on, I shouldn't say obviously, but as a blind person, she seems to pick up on just the particular nuances of this guy. She does not like him at all, and she doesn't want her mom anywhere near this guy. But her mom is not blind and does not pick up on these same nuances of him. And she's trying to pass off her stuff to him, get him to come, and there, maybe that's a segue to getting to know him. And he says, just put it under the door, just leave me alone. And so instead of, her package is too big to put under the door, and towards the end, she does ultimately use her keys to gain access to place him in there. That seemed like a really awkward moment, because I'm just thinking, whether you own this place or not, should one be coming in unannounced into someone else's without real probable cause? Like, you know, it's not like the neighbor underneath is complaining of water coming through the floor or something weird like that. There's no real probable cause for her to just gain entrance. Now, as a result, it's a great scene because she's in there and she smells something really bad. And we find out there's the lead investigator who's working with the FBI, outside the FBI, but local investigator. He ends up, just when did you know it, of all the list of suspects, he gets Virgil. And when he goes to question him, Virgil doesn't waste time, man. He just does this guy. And but he leaves him in his bathtub. sort of in a bite-like kind of way start to liquefy, which is another interesting component of this. Before Scully can even autopsy the first victim, she loses the chance because what this guy has done to them ultimately liquefies the entire body after a certain period of time. And so Monica picks up on the body. She sees it, but as she sees it, Virgil's down there in the car with Ellen, and he actually invites her to come up, and she's going to actually come up with him. But when he happens to look out the window, he sees the light on in his apartment. He's like, no, you know what? Because she's been sort of playing hard to keep for various reasons, or obvious reasons. He's like, you know what? You're right. It's late. I got stuff to do. And of course, she completely takes the wrong way. And he leaves because he knows he's got a threat inside of his apartment. He's got to go up there and deal with it. And once he does, man, he does not hold back, man. He deals with Monica. But this leads to her daughter coming looking for her. And of course, with her unique sense of smell, she can smell her mom's perfume. So she knows this guy is lying to her. So what I'm getting at is it really lays some really well-written sets, scenes, right? And so these two women, three really, the girl, the blind girl, which really sort of reminds you of the handicapped girl in Absurd, Joachim Diamato's, who really ends up becoming the hero, not without baggage at the end of it, but psychological baggage probably. But you really feel for Jessie and for her mom. Really for Jessie, she has just had her mother torn. She's blind, and she's had her mother torn away from her in a very violent manner. And so again, that's a scene when Scully is comforting Jessie. There's a great scene of vulnerability again of women, a young girl who is blind, but Scully who is empathizing with her. It just lends to some really great moments. This was another one hit right out of the, I'm starting to think, man, season 3, man, unless it just dives off a cliff, season 3, man, is a standout season so far. It's got some great episodes. The next one I think is entitled The Walk, and I didn't even look ahead to see even what that was about. So just a couple things. Nutter based the gory scenes here on the earlier episode, The Host. That's kind of interesting. I think I pretty much hit everything that can be hit. So episode 6, Too Shy. Great Monster of the Week episode for sure. Definitely check it out. Yeah, I'm thinking this is a regular Wednesday drop, so I'll just mosey on to the next episode and start to soak that one up. But I can't stress enough how much I just have enjoyed the trip so far, from seasons 1 to 2, now into 3. This has ended up being one of the best decisions I have made in terms of Space 1999 was great as well. And that was a lot of fun. But that was only 2 seasons. This is 11. We have a long ways to go, but it's going to be a great ride. I feel pretty good about that. It's going to be a great ride. So I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the views. Drop a comment from time to time. I have one faithful line here that I absolutely love, just going back and forth with, but it'd be nice if I had a couple more. So as always, we end these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.
We might be useful to you.